Hi. So it's been a while since we've seen Dylan Mulvaney around, but he's back, and he's trying his hand at dating.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
Yeah. So
Bless
I
you.
figured we would react to this one.
Oh, do we have to?
Yes.
Well, I know it's not a good time. And ladies, I think a lot of us are angry for many reasons, but I'm specifically angry at the rules. If you don't know what the rules
Dylan is upset that he can't have an abortion now.
Oh, because that was totally going to happen. Ever.
In his mind, yes.
are, it is a book written in the 80s on how to change yourself so that you can get a man and how you can marry one. And I got this as a recommendation.
Hold on, didn't Dylan say not too long ago that he was a lesbian?
Yes.
So is he back to being a gay man?
Why? Is he looking for men?
He's looking for men right now.
I was in a bridal party a few weeks ago, and some of the bridesmaids had read this, and it had worked for them, so I bought it. And I read the whole thing, and I did it.
Well, hypothetically, if Dylan wants to be a girl, girls date boys.
So he would be a straight woman?
Have to be, right? I don't know what's going on with Dylan anymore.
Okay.
I was implementing the things in my life, and that's coming from someone who I think is a really fun, hot, silly gal. And I was actually changing things about myself so that I could win over a straight man. What the fuck was I thinking? I mean, this is the dumbest shit I've ever read in my life now that I think about it. And I'm sad that I even did this for a second. And I know some of you have, you've been out there for years. I just kind of started it.
Why does he not want to do this book?
He said it's dumb.
What? Hold on.
Silly gal. And
What about a silly girl?
I did it. I was implementing the things in my life. And that's coming from someone who I think is a really fun,
So he thinks he's the fun, silly girl. Okay. I thought you were saying okay.
No.
hot, silly gal. And I was actually changing things about myself so that I could win over a straight man. What the fuck was I thinking? I mean, this is the dumbest shit I've ever read in my life now that I think about it. And I'm sad that I even did this for a second. And I know some of you have, you've been out there for years. I just kind of started at this, and I think I'm out. I think I'm going to adopt a cat. I'm going to buy a pussy, and I'm going to lean into becoming a quirky, old witch that I've always supposed to have been. So not everything's bad. I'm going to the Wicked premiere tomorrow, so. Oh, let us be glad. Oh. Next. Love ya.
Oh, Dylan.
He let his feminine voice go there at the end, didn't he? Next. Love ya.
Oh, my God.
So Dylan is trying to find a straight man. It's going to be really hard to do when you have a penis. But I give you props for trying.
I don't know, Dylan. Dylan's losing it.
Jess is tired from work.
Jess is not tired. Jess is tired of Dylan fucking Mulvaney. So tired of Dylan Mulvaney. Jess gets a headache every time Jess sees that fucking gaping. He said he's going to buy a pussy.
Not the vagina, but a cat.
Yes, but we all know that was like, what are you going to do, Dylan? Torture the cat? Like, the poor cat's going to have to listen to that. All the time. The poor cat.
It was a good try.
I wish I believed Dylan actually believed any of this, but I don't. I really don't. And Dylan continues to show that, like, number one, who's Dylan going after dating-wise? We don't know. Number two, what do you mean you just started dating? How old are you? How could you just started dating as a woman, as you'd like to say? Crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy. And yes, relationships are about give and take. You have to change some things about yourself to pursue a relationship, like giving time to other people. That's something that's very important when you invest into a new relationship. Your time is not your own anymore. Your time is now shared. It's crazy to think that you wouldn't change anything about yourself in pursuing a relationship. It's actually kind of crazy to think that. Don't you agree? Aren't there things that you would do different when you're single versus when you're trying to have a relationship?
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
But with him, that's what narcissists do, though. They don't want to change for other people.
He called himself hot, too.
They just want to be accepted for who they are. But, you know, relationships take work. All relationships do. And if you think you're perfect and you're jumping into that relationship, you're going to find out that you're not that perfect. There are flaws within everybody, and within the confines of a relationship, there can be conflict. And you have to learn how to navigate through that. And in order to do that, you have to have experience with dating. And you're going to do things wrong when you're dating. But, you know, you get through one relationship and it didn't work out, and you learn from it, and you go into the next, and that doesn't work out, and you learn from it and go into the next. Eventually you get there. But some people don't ever change because they just assume that their partner or their ex was to blame for the whole thing. And I feel like that's kind of where Dylan lies, but without the experience of dating.
I would say Dylan missed out on one of his days of girlhood, which was watching Hannah Montana and learning the song, "Nobody's perfect, I gotta work it." No,
I've never heard it, though.
Yeah. If you're Gen Z, then you've definitely seen it. And that would have been one of your homework days on Days of Girlhood if you would have actually studied, but you didn't. So, most women, every woman knows they're not perfect. That's every woman has an issue with themselves. They don't consider themselves hot 90% of the time, unless they're like a supermodel. That's another issue Dylan's having.
Have you ever watched Fresh and Fit? Those women all think they're 10s.
Yeah, but Dylan is not the average woman, though.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
The average woman does not think she's a 10.
Okay, those aren't average women. Those are like Miami.
Yes, those
Women.
are also dumb
Miami.
broads 9 out of 10 times on Fresh and Fit.
True.
So that doesn't count.
They plucked them specifically for that show.
Dylan is a terrible representation of transsexuals and the LGBTQIA community.
He's not transsexual, though, is he? Does he actually take estrogen? It doesn't seem like he
So
does.
if you want to count facial surgery, like facial feminization, that's surgery, then yeah.
But that's cosmetic.
But it's still surgery. Technically.
But would that make him a transsexual,
If you
though?
wanted to say tits are cosmetic too, but like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Michael Jackson got a lot of work done on his face, and he wasn't
Yes,
a
but
transsexual.
Dylan specifically had facial feminization, which what I would say does fall underneath the transgender surgery, which would make him.
But why doesn't he take estrogen and all that stuff?
I thought he did.
Well, he
Remember,
says he does, but I'm not
he was
seeing
crying
it.
taking the shots and shit on videos. He
I
does.
don't know. I'm not.
He says he takes estrogen.
But if he took estrogen, he would gain weight. And this guy is
Not necessarily. Not everyone has the same reaction.
like Eugenia Cooney.
I'm just saying, we've seen videos of him with needles, so he's prescribed estrogen minimally. He gets estrogen.
Okay, well, I'm uncertain, but
We can't prove that he's taking it, but I know that he has it.
yeah.
So, Dylan just doesn't quite understand what he's going for. Also, it's a book. You don't have to listen to every book you read. Not everything's going to have the advice you need to hear.
Especially not a guy who's trying to get a straight guy.
Exactly. It does not, especially a woman's guide does not work for someone who has a penis.
It doesn't work. I mean, it can to a degree, but
A woman's guide does not work for someone who has a penis.
yeah, I get what you're saying. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. We didn't. Like and subscribe and comment below if you think Dylan has a chance in hell of finding a date, or love, or a relationship, marriage, hopefully not a kid.
Women can have bullies.
And that's okay.
We shouldn't let them when they're at the mall in their shopping shorts.
And join our memberships. Thanks.
Or don't, because Dylan Mulvaney shows up, and who wants to pay to see that?